In Ray, the support and maintenance of GDW. Appearances are, we do have Joshua Waller appearing in person without counsel. We have Stephanie Thomas Schmidt in person, Corporation Counsel for Child Support. We're set today in this matter for a motion hearing. This is a motion to lift the stay on the court's jail sanction that was ordered. We were here on February 12th, 2026, in which certain requirements and purge conditions were set on the record, and Mr. Wooler was informed of those and agreed and stipulated to those. He has failed to meet those conditions. Ms. Thomas Schmidt.
Your Honor, Mr. Wooler is under an order to pay $138.46 per week current support, $5.77 per week arrearage support. Since March 1st, he has paid a grand total of $40. He was also under an order to do work searches, 2 applications per week, making contact with child support twice monthly with updates. And that has significantly not happened either. Mr. Wooler contacted child support on April 23rd, stating he was working for Troy, Maine, that Troy, Maine would not do income withholding, and that Mr. Wooler would make payments on his own on Mondays. And he very much did not do those things. He did not turn in any work searches. I don't know what he's been doing, but he has not been doing what the court has required of him in compliance with his child support order. And for those reasons, I'm asking to lift the stay on the totality of the 90 days.
Mr. Wooler, you've been here before. I went over the fact that you do have a right to an attorney, or you can represent yourself. I believe you have always represented yourself. You were here in February. You knew the risks, you knew the sanctions, you knew the penalties. Why aren't you making good on your promises?
Well, I started working with Troy up there, and then I only had 1 vehicle to use, and then
I'm going to have to ask you to make sure that the microphone is closer to you, and you need to enunciate your words. It's kind of mumbly, and if I can't hear it, my court reporter can't hear it, and we can't make sure that everything is down.
Okay. All right. I started working with Troy, Maine, and then the vehicle that I had, only vehicle I had, it's in the shop now, but I mean, I couldn't get up there. I didn't get paid for the time that I could get up there yet. And
so you don't have a job?
No, I couldn't get back up there.
What?
I couldn't get back up there. It's like a 40-minute drive from my house.
Okay.
And
where do you live?
Right on 70 here by Whiskey Joe's.
Live by Whiskey Joe's?
Yeah.
Have you applied at Whiskey Joe's?
No, that's where I live, right by there.
Yeah. Have you applied there?
Oh, no, I don't know if they're hiring.
Oh, have you asked?
No, I did not.
What about down the road at Knotty Pine? Have you asked?
No.
So you haven't asked, and you haven't looked to see if they were looking for any service?
They weren't in the paper, those places. I look in the paper, I do.
Here's the thing. Papers are dead. Okay. Not everybody does this. And I think I went over this with you before. I was called old for reading the paper, okay? Because that is my Sunday thing. Have my cup of coffee, open up the paper, read it. But you know, the paper used to be like 30 pages. It's 5 now. You can't find all of the ads in the paper. You have to physically get up and walk to businesses. Hey, Ace Hardware, are you hiring? Hey, Whiskey Joe's, are you hiring? Hey, Knotty Pines, are you hiring? Those are, well, at least the 2 bar and grill places are places that you can walk to where you live. You haven't put out any effort. Have you located the Clam Lake Association? Maybe they're looking for somebody to work at the boat launch to make sure that all of the invasive species are removed from all of the boats that go in and out, because, you know, we have an issue with that. I know that they hire people to do that. I know that for a fact.
I didn't know that was a thing. Like, I don't know.
It is a thing.
Okay.
You can make good money doing it. So those are, you gotta think outside of the box. Okay. So you lost your job or were unable to get up there since March?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a vehicle. I can't, I don't know anyone else with a vehicle.
When was the last day you worked with Troy, Maine and your car blew?
I don't exactly know the date.
Give me a guess.
It's in April sometime,
April. April 7th?
the middle of the month.
April 15th. We'll go with April 15th.
Okay.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. April 15th. April 15th, May 15th, June 15th, almost 2 months. 2 months. And so what have you been doing with your time? What's your normal day?
My mom's been on bed rest and she has cancer. I'm the only one that can help her right now. And
I think we went over that before too, that you can talk to ADRC and see about classes and whatnot to be able to be a caretaker and get paid to do that. I think actually that was one of your excuses that you had one of the times you were in custody, that you were going to do that with one of your friends from the tribe, correct? Am I remembering correctly?
yeah, he went to jail though, and then
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm not saying that you needed to do that. I'm saying ding, ding, ding. You knew that's an
Okay.
option and something you can do. I've went over that with you before. Have you went to ADRC and have you looked into that as an option?
I looked. I didn't call though. I didn't have a phone at the time, but
I think the last time you were here, I said, walk your little legs down and go to their little office and say, hey, I'd like to talk to you. Because you're here in the building, they're in the building. And that was in February. 90 days. It's pointless to send you to jail. It's pointless. It's pointless to send him to jail because it doesn't teach you a lesson. You just get 3 hots and a cot. You just get to have some mingling and socializing time. It doesn't make you go, hey, I need a job and I don't want to do this again. It doesn't allow you to get a job for 90 days to pay your child support. And it costs the county, I think it's up to $60 a day now. I think we're counting $60 a day to house an inmate. You're costing us money. No one had your children but you. And you're making other people and other things support your children. What is it going to take, Mr. Wooler? What is it going to take?
I don't know what to say. I really don't. Like,
I think there's around 10 grand in arrears.
21,850.
Ooh, that hurts my belly because that's a lot of interest. It's a lot of interest. Back in 2024 it was around 8,500, I think. And now interest, blah, 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 blah. When you don't pay, this is what happens. And I'm asking you, what will it take? What will it take?
I don't know. I don't know what to say, but it's.
You know, I know a gentleman who lost his license, and I don't know, this has to be 10, 15 years ago, lost his license for doing some dumb stuff, rides his bike 10 miles to work every day. 10 miles, I think it's maybe even more than 10 miles every day, even in the winter. Even in the winter, rides his bike to work, to make money, to support himself and his family and all of the things. Like, that's incredible. That's respectful. You're doing nothing. Court is lifting the stay 90 days. There's no reasonable excuse. There's no
My mom has
reason.
cancer. I'm just trying to help her out.
Get it? Got it? Good. I understand.
Really?
I feel for your mother. You have done nothing. You haven't even talked to ADRC.
She can't even lift a gallon of milk herself, man.
There's hospice. She can call those things.
Okay.
You didn't do what you needed to do. So the stay is lifted 90 days. You have a plan, you have something else, you can ask the court to reconsider, but there has to be a plan that you're making money, that you're paying back your child support. I have heard nothing except you sit on your couch all day, watching TV, eating snacks, and taking care of your mother. To what extent, I don't know, because I don't have medical records.
She's here right now. I mean,
She's here right now,
yes,
and I see her right now.
yes.
I appreciate, she's here and she's in public. Okay, she's here and she's in public, and I get that. And if that was here for sympathy or support,
Not
you're not getting it.
sympathy. It's not even sympathy. I'm sorry.
You needed to go to ADRC. You needed to do that. You needed to figure that out back in February when we first talked about it with your mom. Back in, I don't know, 2024, 2025, 2023, when you were going to do that with the tribal member. You never even went through the process to figure that out. It's different for the tribal versus it is for the county, but similar things. You never followed through. You have to follow through. You need to be paying for the care and support of your children. It's not my responsibility. It's not Corporation Counsel. It's not anyone else here in this room. It is your responsibility. Step up. 90 days immediately can be taken into custody. Next.
I believe Miss Lemon is present for 09 PA 05 PJ.
Ms. Lemon? Is that cigarettes out hanging out of his pocket?
Yep.
Cigarettes hanging out of your pocket. You can afford to smoke, but you can't afford to pay for your kids. Absurd. Absurd. Whose phone? We will go on the record in the matter 09 PA5 PJ in re the paternity of DJL. Appearances are, we do have appearing in person, Shyla Lemon, mother. We have the state appearing through child support appearing through Corporation Counsel Stephanie Thomas Schmidt. We're here today in this matter for a sanctions hearing. Ms. Lemon, you were found in contempt and you were placed upon a purge order with purge conditions. And it appears that you have failed to comply with those purge conditions. And so that's why we're here today. Ms. Thomas Schmidt.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Lemon was placed on a purge back in November. At that time, she was employed through the tribe. Her employment ceased that December. She did not, she made some payments after that employment ceased, at least one in January, and then a state tax intercept in February, nothing in March or April. Miss Lemon did not appear in May for a sanctions hearing, was arrested, given a bond. The custodial parent paid the bond. Miss Lemon was released from custody. She's on a pretty low order and has, with the most recent bond being posted, very, very low arrearages. Prior to June's accrual, her arrearage balance is $92, and then she owes $130 to the state. The child turns 18 in January, will graduate in May. So there's not a lot of time left that this will be accruing. I'm seeking to extend the purge for a year.
I have so many questions, so many questions. the custodial parent paid her
Mhm.
bond of $650. So he paid his own child support to go to child support.
Yep.
Seriously silly. Like, what the heck? Like, then why does he care to continue to collect, to continue to have her here, to continue to have me yell at her for not doing what she needs to do if he's paying his own child support?
I don't have an answer for that one. I thought it was a peculiar situation,
Yeah.
but I think if we keep her under the purge for a year until the child graduates, and the child support ceases accruing, and if we impose but stay 15 days as a added incentive, added reminder that Miss Lemon needs to take this seriously and make a good faith effort. And if Miss Lemon is not working, to do work searches, hopefully that can get us across the finish line.
This is weird, Miss Lemon.
I understand. I wasn't expecting my son's dad to pay it. I was in jail. I didn't know. My mom got a hold of him because I had my son Friday, and he showed up at my house, and I wasn't there. I was in jail, and they both, my son and my son's dad, bailed me out. And I wasn't expecting that to happen. My vehicle blew up, so I lost my job. Didn't have a phone. I don't know. I don't have any other explanation, but
Does he want you to go to jail? Does he not?
he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to see me in jail. He said he's tried to drop the child support. I mean, I've been paying since I was 16.
I know, I remember your situation and all that happened there. I wasn't the judge. I don't know what happened, but he was beyond being an adult male. Well, you were 16 or 15 at being pregnant at 15. You understand to extend what Ms. Corporation Counsel Stephanie Thomas Schmidt is saying with extending the purge?
Yeah. With the jail, do I have to? I mean, I have small children at home.
You're not going to jail.
Okay.
Not going to jail.
Okay.
I was
Okay, but I
saying
understand.
was holding that over your head as
Yeah.
if things don't work,
And I-
this could happen.
Yeah, and I have filled out. I mean, I've filled out applications, and I've have an interview with A&W. I've had 3 with Waynes and Webster. I've been applying all over on Indeed. I don't have my own vehicle, so I rely on others, and without having my own means, it's a little bit hard. But I've been trying. It's not that I haven't. I just haven't had a way to get around or really even contact, because I haven't had a phone. And Shelly had to reach out to my other child's father to get a hold of me the one time and he brought me up here that was after I got released from jail, to get my court date. But I try. I mean, I've been trying.
The court will follow the recommendations of Corporation Counsel, and it'll extend the purge for another year with the terms stated on the record by Ms. Thomas Schmidt. And that's stipulated to by Ms. Lemon. Ms. Lemon, tragedy in all the way, trauma in all the way. I understand that, and really, really odd to have the dad of your son pay his own child support.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so the court will adopt the recommendations.
I would just,
Stay in contact with corporation or with the child support. Hopefully you can get a job and you can make your purge conditions. Okay.
I would just ask that it be effective July 1st.
July 1st is the effective date.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
We're adjourned.
If you're struggling with your phone, the public library has.
Mr. Mitchell,
One's on top.
We will go on the record in the matter 10 FA 129 in re the support or maintenance of Anthony Mitchell. Appearances are, we do have Charles Mitchell appearing in person. We have Corporation Counsel Stephanie Thomas Schmidt in person. We're set here today in this matter for a motion hearing. Mr. Mitchell was found in contempt of failing to pay child support and arrears on June 5th, 2025. So we're here for a motion for sanctions. Ms. Thomas Schmidt.
Your Honor, Mr. Mitchell has done frankly better than I see from a lot of individuals with regards to his purge. He is under an arrearages only order here to pay $75 a month. Some months from July until January were lower than the $75 a month by a few bucks. And then there'd be, $28 extra for another month. So it mostly balanced out until things kind of petered off, starting to struggle in February. The February and March payments were approximately half of what was owed. And then nothing in April and May. Mr. Mitchell reported losing his last job due to some transportation situation. His girlfriend was his ride to work due to him not having a driver's license. And then unfortunate circumstances befell his girlfriend and she was no longer able to do so. And that became a struggle. But we haven't really heard from Mr. Mitchell in a while. But all told, I think the purge has been mostly successful with some tapering off the past several months. So I'm requesting that we impose but stay 15 days jail such that that is over Mr. Mitchell's head, not going to jail now and hopefully not going to jail at all. But that the purge be extended for 1 year to allow Mr. Mitchell to get back on the track that he had been on and keep working toward taking care of his obligations. I think just having that added reminder that, oh no, this is what could happen, might be effective at getting Mr. Mitchell back on track, that he was on a good track for most of his purge.
All right, Mr. Mitchell, you're here without an attorney. You do have the right to have an attorney or you can represent yourself. Do you wish to represent yourself here today?
Yes,
And do you understand what Ms. Thomas Schmidt is saying about the
yes, I
purge?
do.
And do you agree with those conditions?
Yes, I do.
And so I'm sorry to hear about you losing your job because it sounds like you were doing really well. And you were keeping up with things and staying on track. Do you have any possibility of a job in the near future?
I've been trying to fill out applications, and like I said, transportation is a problem. But other than that, I do get per cap. I can sign out some of that for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think we can easily do that. We can sign a per capita authorization form. And so if you want to do that, then that'll actually probably save you while you're looking for a job. Is there a possibility to get a job, or are you near the casino or any of?
No, I'm in Cameron, so.
Oh, you're in Cameron. Oh, I thought you were coming from Hurdle.
Well, that's where I got a ride from, but
Okay. And so you're in Cameron. Are you near any businesses?
it's like I said, it's just hard for transportation.
Okay. Well, hopefully with the authorization with the per capita, that'll help get you by and you won't be at risk for having to sit that jail time. The court will adopt the recommendation and the terms as stated by Corporation Counsel on the record. It is stipulated to by Mr. Mitchell. And so the sanction would be 15 days of jail but that's imposed and stayed. July 1st, the start date.
Correct.
All right, July 1st would be the start date for that. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So what is he going to need to do with that form?
Stop by child support, give us a little bit to get through the rest of the hearings, and then Jody can,
Somebody else.
Oh,
can
no.
help him too.
Deanna or Shelley should be able to help with the per capita form.
Okay.
And they'll get it for you to fill out. I think you're pretty close to, there's a restaurant there and there's Quick Trip that shouldn't be too far. And they're usually always hiring, so might be worth an ask.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Who next, Miss Thomas Schmidt?
If we could take Mr. Stewart?
Mr. Stewart. We will go on the record in the matters 07 PA 16 PJ, in re the paternity of EAS. 2010 PA 01 PJ, in re the paternity of DJP. 2002 PA 17 PJ, in re the paternity of CLS. Appearances are, we have Patrick Stewart, father, appearing in person without counsel. We have Corporation Counsel Stephanie Thomas Schmidt in person. We're set today in this matter as a request to lift the stay. Mr. Stewart was found in contempt of failing to comply with his child support obligations. He was placed on a purge order and with certain purge conditions, and he has failed to comply. Ms. Thomas Schmidt.
Your Honor, this is another sort of unique, challenging situation. Mr. Stewart has one case that is accruing support. Current support is owed at the rate of $136.43 per month, with a $25 arrearage payment ordered. And then there are two separate cases that are arrearages only, one with a significant balance and the other with a comparatively minimal balance. Mr. Stewart has made, well, frankly, he hasn't made a full payment, at least on the current support case. We've received some payment for all but 2 months of the purge. So I think that Mr. Stewart is frankly trying more than he has in a while, which is a wonderful thing. I'm very glad to see that this has been successful so far. Mr. Stewart relays that he's had some family tragedies, which has affected things, but despite that, he still managed to send in something. He had a criminal OWI related situation that he's addressed and I believe is moving forward from, and is doing education, taking classes to better his ability to earn in the future. And Mr. Stewart provided us a pay stub from a job that he recently started with Weaver Concrete, with a pay period date starting May 28th through June 3rd. So I want to be very clear that I'm very pleased with the efforts Mr. Stewart has put in thus far. But I think that this structure has been helpful. And so I'm asking to extend the purge on all 3 cases for a period of 1 year. I'm asking for Mr. Stewart to continue working, not quit his job unless it's to start employment at something that is a better employment, either more money or comparable money, but better benefits. Just something that would, be more significant somehow. That Mr. Stewart keep us updated with his schooling efforts, if that's something that's affecting his working, and that Mr. Stewart continue to make his payments.
All right. So, Mr. Stewart, it sounds like you had a rough start, but that you are a little bit more stable and secure right now, and it seems like you're doing better.
Yes,
And so how's your new job going with the concrete?
that's going good. It's going really good. Yep. Yeah, working for John Weaver.
What?
Working for John Weaver
Okay.
Concrete.
Okay. And so it's going well, you're getting paid, you're working hours, are you working full time?
Yes.
And when's your school?
It's online.
Online, so you can do it whenever?
Yeah, I just picked up 2 summer classes because I was lacking in the fall. There was the old man passing away, so I had to make up for some credit. So I took up a couple classes for the summer.
All right. So Ms. Thomas Schmidt, you're not asking that the court lift the stay, you're just asking to extend the purge with certain other
Correct.
requirements. And Mr. Stewart, do you agree with the new additions to the purge order?
Yeah, I believe they're all pretty much the same as before, previous, correct?
Just you can't quit your job
Yeah,
unless you have a better job,
right, understood.
and you're going to continue to make your payments.
Yes,
You're going to continue to be in contact with child support
yeah, yep,
and do what you need to do.
yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm really glad to see you doing as well as you are, Mr. Stewart,
Thank
because
you.
quite honestly, you know this, I know this, you weren't doing so well years before.
Right.
So I'm really hoping that your school goes well, because I know that
Yeah.
you want to run your own business someday and you want to have the business management skills to do so.
And that's the key takeaway here. The court isn't just looking for excuses. It's looking for effort. We've seen one person ignore every opportunity and end up behind bars, while another gets a chance to rebuild because he's actually making progress. So, what do you think? Should courts focus more on punishment or on giving people a realistic path to get back on track?